What's up, guys? You got Nick on here again, America. Uh, I stumbled upon this stuff this morning. A little bit of did we die in 2012? Are we living in a simulation right now? Is our consciousness here? We don't know. But everything's upside down and backwards. Justice doesn't help anybody. The police don't help anybody. Red Cross don't do what they should do. Good's bad, bad's good. It just all seems fake here. I mean, believe me, I chuckled about it too the first time I seen a video on it, but damn it if the things don't really kind of make sense. And I swear that I know there's the elites, and I guarantee that they plan to release all this information, not at once, but basically at once. Like, they released all kinds of information within the past 2 years. And people are losing their fucking minds because before they can figure out what to do with one piece and how to handle that, they got fucking 10 more deceptions that they got to confront and deal with now. And all they want to do is take the person's neck and fucking wring it, but they can't. So yeah, it does feel a little bit unearthly, unreal, pretty much every day. The one thing that gets me is this ringing in my ears. It's been going on for almost 3 years, and it's only in my right ear. And if they say that 5G is the trap that we're being led into, meaning, the RFD chip or the mark, whatever, to where they got us so far down the rabbit hole, consumed with other things, fighting amongst each other, that they're going to sneak this electronic currency thing in on us, and you're going to have it. It's going to be mandatory. Otherwise, you can't do shit. You can't have a house. You can't have anything that requires currency. You can't have. They're going to slip it in on us because we're like rabbits, and they're the ones trying to trap us. So they got the carrot in front of us, which is the knowledge, whatever we're looking for, whether it be flat Earth, heliocentric, whatever the fuck kind of truth you're looking for, they got you looking for it right now. They got everybody's heads fucked up. So let's just start listening to fucking Big Shot Man here himself, Boy Wonder, from D-Wave.
You have two that are exactly identical.
Talking about universes.
All the way out to the horizon, as far as we can see, down to the last little atomic detail of every single thing, with only one difference. And that's the value of a little thing called a qubit on this chip, which is a contraction of quantum bit. And that qubit is very much like a bit or a transistor in a conventional computer. It has two distinct physical states, which we call 0 and 1 for bit.
See, now, he can spit out all this shit that he wants, but he's saying a lot of fancy words for a little bitty chip here that's no bigger than your thumbnail. His machines are bigger than a fucking refrigerator, and it's for pulling things out of the ether, pulling it out of the air, pulling it out of the material, or pulling it out of the unmanifested and manifesting it. Sorry. It's summoning demons, spirits. There are no good spirits. There's just bad spirits. Good spirits are called angels. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it wrong. Understand this stuff. But a little bit more on what he's saying here.
In a conventional computer, these are mutually exclusive. That device is either one or the other and never anything else. In a quantum computer, that device can be in this strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. And when you increase the number of these devices, every time you add one of these qubits, you double the number of these parallel universes that you have access to, until such time when you get to a chip like this, which is about 500 of these bits, you have something like...
So I guess the best way to break this down is like, see this shadow right here in between these two? Runs all the way down here. Well, that's where that's the point where you can reach from this one and grab some of that one's shit and pull over to here and vice versa. Now, I would imagine like if you wanted to look at it in a different way, these lines could connect like he's about to like he did say, for every new one there's more nexuses. So you could imagine like you could access this one from down here. If this whole shadow overlaps everything over here, then shit, you could access this one from down over here, down over here. Yeah, that's crazy.
universes that you have access to. Until such time when you get to a chip like this, which is about 500 of these bits, you have something like 2 to the 500th power of these guys
2 to what?
in that chip. So the way I think about it is that the shadows of these parallel worlds overlap with ours. And if we're smart enough, we can dive into them and grab their resources and pull them back into ours to make an.
That's funny because that doesn't sound fucking smart at all. That sounds totally stupider than hell. You need some air, man? Plant some fucking trees. You need some grass? Put in some hard work. You need some food? Quit bioengineering shit to where you're killing everything to where you can't grow anything natural. Figure it out. Quit going to other places. Quit pointing the finger. Quit running. Damn it. Come on, mankind. Yell at this motherfucker. Why ain't we stopping these people?
An effect in our world. Now, this may sound very odd to you and bizarre, and in fact, I am.
Oh, and by the way, you can't take. Okay, if you were to take this cursor right here and break it in half, and you took half of it over here, you took the other half over here. So one half here, one half here. When I move this one up, this half will go up too. No matter the distance in between the two halves, if they used to be one, they will move as one no matter the distance in between. So when you take something from the other side there and pull it over here to our side, it can be exactly the same, down to the last molecule. But it has different energy, because we have, what do we have? We have resonance. We vibrate over here. We vibrate off a certain resonance, and that's what makes us us. That's what makes this reality this reality. It's slightly different than another one. So there's going to be either higher frequencies or lower frequencies on that material you pull over. And to think, none of this would even be possible without CERN. Let's jump to them real quick.
In string theory, the multiverse is a theory in which our universe is not the only one. Instead, many universes exist parallel to each other. These distinct universes within the multiverse theory are called parallel universes. This means there are copies of you sitting right here, right now, listening to this.
Bullshit.
In other universes, there are other copies of you that are doing other things in other universes. One universe may be very similar to that of our own, but with slight differences that can be accounted for by butterfly
Sounds familiar, huh?
effect-like changes, resulting
That's Celtic as fuck. Look at that. Human hands are the butterfly effect. We cause everything.
in different outcomes. Now, what if through the use of technology, we were able to shift our universe's timeline into that of another parallel one? What if we could pick and choose timelines to better suit our own existence? Or, what if we already have done this? Thousands of people have recently began reporting changes to
Twilight
Earth's
Zone.
geography when the popular Mandela effect theory sprung about. Since then, the enormity of the Earth's
Fuck that. He should have went a little bit slower there for y'all that probably never seen this shit before. Pikachu. Which one do you remember? Kit Kat. Can you even see the difference? Doom, boom, tear, nope. And no dash in between. Which one do you remember? Nelson Mandela, I'm pretty sure he died back when I was like 15. Which one do you remember? Steen or Stain? Which one do you remember? Fruit Loops. I remember this one, most definitely. Could have been branding change too, though. I mean, but some of it's not branding change. Like this shit, I wondered about that too. Uh.
Alone called for a separate categorization of theories. The reports consist of city locations seeming to be different, bodies of water able
Wait a
to shift
minute.
our universes to better suit our own existence, or theory sprung about. Since then, the enormity of the Earth's changes alone called for a separate categorization of theories. The reports consist of city locations seeming to be different, bodies of water and land masses either becoming much larger or smaller, or even full countries and even continents seeming to have moved to different locations completely.
This is all true.
The majority of these findings have been discovered through the use of things like Google Earth, atlases, and older maps to ensure they were not merely updated versions responsible for the changes. Explanation.
CERN. Of course it's CERN.
Range from the Large Hadron Collider at CERN successfully ripping through the fabric of time in the universe to adjust our reality to a different parallel one. Or, our old Earth was destroyed in 2012, and now our consciousness lives on within a massive computer simulation. Perhaps it is a combination of both, or is it simply a bad case of Mandela effect, with our brains remembering the wrong locations and details of our own globe? Let's now take a look at some of the most notable examples of the old Earth theory, and then you can decide whether you've packed up and moved to a parallel universe yourself. Number 1. New Zealand.
And I did this. Don't think that they're all gonna affect you here. They're not. As I noticed, some things I remember, some things I don't. Not everything changed 100,000%.
According to old Earthers, New Zealand used to be northeast of Australia. As you can see, it is now southeast of Australia. Many claim that Australia was more isolated.
And you gotta remember, this is just according to Google Maps, which is part of NASA, because Google is a 007 agent for CIA, which is Central Information Agency. They're the ones who put out all your info. Google is in charge of the information flow. They tell you what's true, they tell you what's not. You believe it no matter what, especially when it comes to a map. So they could just be switching all this shit around on us, just to fuck with us, just to fuck our heads up, just to make us easier to control.
Away from Papua New Guinea and Indonesia, leaving ample room in the northeast.
Cause this looks fucked up to me right here. Like, this shit right here is way too, like, this used to just be Australia. And I'm pretty sure there used to be an island over here too.
Region for where New Zealand is supposed to be. So what is the true land down under? Apparently the answer is New Zealand, not Australia. Number 2. The Northern Ice Cap. The Northern Ice Cap at the North Pole no longer exists. This one tends to hit home for a lot of people who remember spinning their globe as a child with 2 polar ice caps.
Yeah, well, don't trust none. I'm telling you, it's all a fucking lie. Don't trust none of this shit either. None of it. And I don't know how old this picture is, but there's New Zealand right there.
One at the south being Antarctica, and another circle of ice at the top, where the North Pole was. Greenland also existed on old Earth, so this should not be confused with being the...
Greenland did exist on old Earth. Because they used to call it, because the Vikings called Iceland Greenland and Greenland Iceland in order to confuse people.
Missing northern ice cap. Number 3. South America. South America used to be much more directly underneath North America and not so far east out into the Atlantic Ocean. This also seemingly shrinks the size of the Atlantic, especially the distance between South America and Africa, while drastically increasing the size of the Pacific Ocean. Number 4. Detroit. Detroit's orientation to Windsor, Ontario has now changed. Downtown Detroit is now north or northwest of Windsor, when many recall it being south or southwest. It appears to have shifted up the Detroit River. Number 5. Cuba. Cuba has grown larger in size and has changed shape. Many people remember Cuba being much smaller, not as close to Florida as it is now, and its shape was always said to resemble a cigar. And now, it looks nothing like a cigar. Number 6. The Mediterranean Sea. Many differences of the Mediterranean are noticed when remembering Old Earth. A few examples are, Sicily seems to be extremely close to Tunisia now, and also much closer to the boot tip of the mainland Italian peninsula. Number 7. Kazakhstan and Mongolia. Both of these countries now appear much larger than on Old Earth.
Goddamn
And on a more
Mongolians!
mysterious note, it is also reported that Kazakhstan was actually remembered as a slender north-south stretching country on the far east end of Russia above North Korea, bordering the Pacific. Number 8. Baja California. Baja California is now much longer than on Old Earth. Many remember it as only being half its present size. Now it seems to stretch extremely far in length, north-south, and into the Pacific. Number 9. Panama. The shape and orientation of Panama has now changed drastically, with many remembering it as a more north-south stretching country, and now it appears.
Look at the differences in crevices and shit too. Huge difference in the seafloor layout.
As an east-west stretching country.
Hello. I know you guys hate this, but this is the real one. This is it. This is where all of our continents are. See, because magnetic north is right here. When you set a compass on it, no matter where you go around here, if you want to go west, you just go this way and it'll keep you going west. You won't go like that. The only way that you can go straight on this is to go south. Now, this motherfucker is also gonna show you some crazy shit.
You later on. This, my friends, in front of you, is the reality we live in. We live in
Which I was calling bullshit too, but look, he's got all the names up right.
a mirrored, inverted, reverse.
Which is satanic as hell.
It's not easy to attain this picture, and I know the critics are gonna tear me to shreds, which is why I'm allowed to show you this photograph, because it's probably gonna be very easy to debunk. But it's more like you've been following my channel, you know who I am, or you don't. You believe me or you don't. As you can see in front of you, all the words are, the right way. The 635 here, everything looks normal. You got Kit Lane, everything looks normal here.
It's upside
Except
down.
you might notice that all the buildings are upside down.
How would you not notice?
Everything is upside down. So this is a true photograph of our reality. It's not easy to attain, but if you know me, I don't Photoshop or do anything like that. So to further back this up, since I'm going to be criticized to death,
Pay attention.
and I've explained to folks that the Mandela effect is nothing new. It's been going on since before you were born. It's been going on for many thousands of years. It's just that now we have the internet and we're able to compare notes. Imagine, being alive before the internet and you're noticing all these Mandela effects. Who are you going to tell? I mean, seriously, a small group of people, it's not going to spread worldwide like this, and the truth is not going to be known like this. So here it is, going back to the Egyptian days. The Egyptians knew about this. This, you can call this as above, so below. This, if you look
Firmament.
closely, let's see if I can zoom in. No, I cannot zoom in anymore. Okay, interesting. You'll notice that all these folks are upside down. But in reality, they're not upside down. They are in their true reality and they are upside down. The reason the Egypt
Notice the only difference, well, besides this firmament has a ball in her mouth, giving off sine waves. This firmament is natural. There is no sine waves, there is no control.
Egyptians showed it this way is because we have been pulled from our true reality and thrown into this upside down inverted reverse reality.
Which I know it is very, very hard to come to terms with taking it seriously that something happened to you and you've been thrown to a different reality without even realizing or noticing. Believe me.
It is demonstrated by this woman and this little bulb, and I'll go into more detail about this. But here, everything appears up normal, right side up, left to right. Everything looks normal, but in reality, it's not. This is the true reality up here. Let me go into more detail. People love to say that everything is fake. The flat earthers. Well, here's your proof, flat earthers. This is the true reality out here, and this is a demonstration of how we've been pulled into this fake reality, and these stars are fake stars. Everything is fake. The stars are fake. The planets are fake. Everything in this reality is fake. It's a completely. This is the true reality out here, and this is a demonstration of how we've been pulled into this fake reality, and these stars are fake stars. Everything is fake. The stars are fake. The planets are fake. Everything in this
That would be why we see the same constellations over and over and over again every night.
reality is fake. It's a completely mirrored, inverted, reverse reality, showing going all the way
Satanic.
back to the Egyptian
Satanic.
days, and you can go into your theory about how long ago the Egyptians lived and all
Shit. We may very well be in hell.
that stuff. So here's another diagram showing our fake inverted reality, and you can study this in more detail. But what I'm going to show you right now is how did, going back to the Bible, how did God create the universe? He spoke the word. What is the word? It's a frequency. These lines right here represent frequencies. Everything in our reality is a frequency. As frequency become more tight and coupled together, they create what is known as the physical universe and physical matter. I talked about how the table in front of you looks like it's solid, but it's not. The atoms between them are in constant motion. It's the bonds between them that give the appearance of them being solid. So everything is a frequency,
Resonance.
everything is vibrating. Nothing in our reality is a solid.
It's
This is
resonating.
how the double slit experiment can be a wave and a particle at the same time, because this is
And if you haven't seen that experiment, you need to go look that up when you're done. It's only like a 2-minute thing to watch. The double slit experiment. It'll blow your mind.
the true nature of our reality. So this being, the Egyptians are showing how this being took the frequencies and loaded them into this little bulb like a program. So she's not, or you want to say he, I don't care. This is this
I want to know what the hell this thing is. What's this thing?
is not our true God, but basically, uh, I don't even know how to say this correctly. Learned how to manipulate the frequencies of the universe, create a program, and then throw out and create a fake world, a fake reality. And this is what we're dealing with today. So the Egyptians knew about this, and I expect this to probably go over the heads of most people, which is why I'm not going to go into great detail. With my inside my group, I go into great detail. I analyze these symbols for everybody. I explain everything. I go into great detail, but this is a general public video and just a high overview. So, folks, It's in our ancient writings. The Hopis talk about it. The Bible talks about it. It's in all our ancient writings. The Mandela effect is nothing new. This has all been predicted. It's all explained. The reason you're noticing it, the reason you're aware of it, is because of some woman named Fiona Broom. But I'm sorry, she did not invent the Mandela effect. It's been going on for a very. It's been prophesized. In the end days, the truth will be known, and the truth is getting out there, folks. People are catching on. So, shine like a pillar of light. Do not accept this fake reality. Do not accept these fake false flags. Oh my God. Pray for the country of China. China is.
Hello, Truth Seekers. How are you? Hope you're having a patient. I think that this is be very interested in at the moment.
I know of no one who has ever made this claim before, but I rather suspect that my experience is not unique. What perhaps is unique is the fact that I am willing to talk about it. We are living in a computer-programmed reality, and the only clue we have to it is when some variable is changed.
Mandela
Since the
effect.
1970s, scientists have been asking themselves, do we live in a simulation? Are we living in a computer program? And the reason that they're asking themselves these questions is because the more we know about our universe, about life, the less random it appears to be.
So I'm left with the puzzle of trying to figure out whether I live in the Matrix or not.
Wait, you're blowing my mind at this moment. So you're saying
Now, before I go any further, these aren't just the speculations of a madman on the internet. These are
Now, before he goes any further, you are living in a simulation. If you believe in God, you believe that. This is like a proving ground, which is a game where your faith will be tested. Duh. It's all fake. It always has been. It never was real. Anyway, that's a little bit to think about, guys. Have at it. If you guys got like a particular subject or something, man, leave comments. Tell me what to do. I'm here to serve you guys. Let me know what you want to see. Later.